What's up, Flick Connection? This is Darren, and today I'm going to give you the top 10 Valentine's Day movies on Netflix for people who hate chick flicks. Now, chick flicks are objectively bad in almost every sense of the word. Even people who really like them know and admit that they make for terrible movies, and it's essentially the same couple of movies just over and over and over again. So this Valentine's Day, if you feel like you're going to need to watch some sort of romantic movie, and a lot of people are, there's plenty of good movies on Netflix that fit the bill that are in no way a chick flick. They've got cinematic merit, they're entertaining, you'll love watching them, she'll love watching them. Pick one of these based on your personality. And for this list, because these movies are all a little bit different, I'm not going with a ranking system. I'm just going to rattle them off, tell you a little bit about each one so you can make a smart decision this Valentine's Day.
Sucker. You foolish sucker.
Bit of what?
Hello? Hello, is Eric there, please?
So I'm going to start off with Eagle vs. Shark. Now this is a great one if you loved the HBO show Flight of the Conchords. Jermaine Clement stars in it. It essentially is a romantic comedy, but it's in no way a chick flick. It's really quirky. It's got kind of a Napoleon Dynamite vibe, but it is rated R. And it's fun. Now, I think this might actually be required viewing for hipsters. So if you wear big felt hats, suspenders, have a B. Arthur tattoo, this is probably going to be the one for you. If you hate all of that stuff, you're going to want to go with another one of the picks I got for you here. If you want to go with an old-timey classic, again, not a bad choice for the hipsters, but also a good choice for a lot of other people. I'd go with The African Queen. This is just a great Humphrey Bogart, Katharine Hepburn, sort of when they're getting on in years. It's a great movie. It's sort of an adventure story, so it's entertaining from beginning to end. It is a love story, but it's not super gushy. There's a real good sense of adventure. The locations are incredible, so it's a really, really good, just old classic movie. Another oldie but a goodie on Netflix is Breakfast at Tiffanys. This one does get a little bit more into the chick flick territory, but it's essentially the original chick flick. So it's got some cinematic merit, it's got some classic film merit, it's entertaining to watch, it's well done, but if you just, gag at the thought of watching a chick flick, this is also not going to be the one for you. But if you feel like you need to maybe make a little bit of a compromise, this is an easy one to slip in under the radar.
What kind of bird are you?
I'm a sparrow. She's a dove.
No, I said, what kind of bird are you?
One of my personal favorites on the list is Wes Anderson's Moonrise Kingdom. This is really just a fun little romantic movie. It's quirky. It does involve kids who appear to be like around the age of 14, 15. But it's very sweet. It's very interesting. It's fun. It's one of Wes Anderson's better movies, in my opinion. It's probably in his top 4 or 5 easily, I would say. Let me know in the comments below where you think Moonrise Kingdom ranks in terms of Wes Anderson movies. But in terms of movies on this list, this one's definitely towards the top, especially if you've never seen it. This one's a really, really good way to go. One a lot of you probably haven't seen is Penelope, starring Christina Ricci. This one essentially feels like a classic chick flick, but it's got a really interesting twist. James McAvoy is in it, who I always like. I always feel like he's kind of fun to watch. But it's essentially about a girl who belongs to a wealthy family who has a pig nose. Her nose looks like a pig nose, and they're trying to arrange some sort of suitor for her, and it's just impossible. So it's a nice kind of fun little twist on a classic genre, and that's another good way to sort of shoehorn something interesting into your Valentine's Day evening, so you don't just have to watch, Hitch. Seeking a Friend for the End of the World has a little bit of a dark twist where it's got essentially the apocalypse is impending, but Steve Carell's in it, Keira Knightley's in it. It's got a good cast. It's not great, which is why you've probably never heard of it, even though those people are in it. But if you're having trouble making a decision, this one would be a good place to go because it is different, it is fun, it is interesting and unique. So I recommend it for that reason, but in my personal opinion, if I were ranking these, it would be closer to number 10. Number 1, I recommend Whatever Works, which is a Woody Allen movie starring Larry David. Now, if you are a Curb Your Enthusiasm fan, this is a must-watch. This is a really great little Woody Allen movie with Larry David, essentially playing Larry David, but with kind of an interesting sort of thing happening where the movie starts out, he's sort of a not wealthy, but a well-to-do New Yorker who sort of just like loses it and gives away everything and in favor of a more bohemian lifestyle, where he then takes on like a very, very young girlfriend. And so it's got sort of an interesting storyline. It doesn't go where a lot of other movies go, but if you love watching Larry David, this is a really great one to watch, and it's got some nice elements to it. So this one definitely would be maybe closer to number 2 or 3 if I were ranking these. Speaking of Woody Allen movies, Midnight in Paris is also on Netflix. This is possibly the better choice for Valentine's Day over Whatever Works. It's a really just nice, kind of warm story. Owen Wilson's in it, and even if you're not a fan of his, you will probably like this movie unless you just hate anything you've seen Woody Allen do. But even on that note, this does not really feel like a Woody Allen movie. At least it didn't to me. But it's about a guy, he's on vacation with his fiance, and he just doesn't really like, you know, her family, any of the people that they're associating with. It seems like he might not even really be in love with her, but he goes on these long walks at midnight in Paris where he sort of comes across classic figures from literature like Ernest Hemingway, and I don't want to give away too much more, but that's essentially the hook and the twist, and it's a really just interesting movie, and it is a love story of sorts, so it definitely is a good pick for Valentine's Day. But that's going to be the last one I recommend from a guy who married his daughter. I don't know why I have 2 of those on there, but they're 2 of his better Valentine's Day movies, and they're both on Netflix right now. Going to go a little bit more on the sadder side with Atonement. This is just a really almost gut-wrenching movie. It's a look at World War II, but it really focuses in on relationships. It's a really well-done movie. It was nominated for Best Picture when it came out. It probably didn't deserve to win it, and it didn't, but it is that good. It definitely deserved to get nominated, and there was a lot of buzz about it when it came out. A lot of people saw it, but it's since sort of faded off into obscurity. So this would be a good one to watch Valentine's Day night, but if you don't really want to get into the sad vibe at all, avoid it, but definitely watch it sometime soon. I highly recommend this movie. The Man from the Future is a Spanish language movie. If you're okay with subtitles, this is a fun way to go. It's about time travel. It's got a quirky character. You're going to recognize him from Narcos if you watched that on Netflix as well, which was fantastic. If you liked that, it'll be fun to kind of watch him in sort of a weird, kind of crazy scientist role. But I recommend it if you're into either of those 2 things. If not, you're probably going to find something better on the rest of the list, because having to read subtitles might interfere with your Valentine's Day evening activities. And that wraps it up. That's all 10. I recommend all of them at one point or another for most people. So hopefully that helps. Even if you're watching this after Valentine's Day, if you're just looking for something sort of for a date night and you don't want to watch a chick flick, I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to do you one a solid here. So let me know what you thought of this list in the comments below. But thanks for watching. Subscribe if you love lists like this. I do content like this and other stuff related to movies all the time. But thanks for watching, and you will see me next time.